Hey there, we're going to be getting into some vinyl graphics for your cause right now. If you're just tuning in, you probably want some cut contour information. Let's just start out with that. If I am going to make a swatch for the cut contour, what should that look like? It's a fair question. What I want to do is in my swatches panel, I'm going to hit new swatch, and then we're going to make this cut contour. Check out my capital C's, capital C cut, capital C contour, no space. This is going to be a spot color. This is going to be 100% magenta, 0% the rest. So this is what it should look like for you to make that swatch. I'll leave it on the screen for a second because you're typing right now, cut contour, and then we'll hit OK. When I make this, you're going to notice there's a dot in the corner, and this is the cut line that you'll need. Now, while we're here, let's do the other one. So we haven't talked about this one a lot yet, but this is called a PerfCutContour, and it's going to be a spot color, but it's going to be green, so it's going to be 100% yellow and 100% cyan. And this is that one that will cut the decals out a little bit, so it'll kind of cut that area that you might need. So that's called a PerfCutContour, and I'll have that one here as well. So I have the regular cut contour that is just going to trim vinyl, and then I have the PerfCutContour that's going to kind of cut the decal out. We'll need both of those for this assignment. Now, as we kind of start this thing, we're going to be concerned with the basics of a decal. And I'm going to talk about mission readiness here, and then I'm going to talk about the actual decal portion. So there's going to be some chapters here. As we talk about mission readiness, you're going to make a 23-inch wide by 10-inch tall document, and this is going to be one color. And we're just going to do with the call to action right now. And this is kind of the setup that I like to use for text like this. This is me grouping this together. So if I kind of think about my bomb fishing, fishing is already a blast without the bomb. If I think about my most important word, I put a 1 by it, and that's going to be blast. If I think about my next important word, I might think it's maybe fishing, or maybe bomb, or maybe without. Like, I kind of think without could be kind of a cool setup here. I can do multiple ones as well, so maybe bomb is also a 2, and fishing is also a 2. Maybe already is a 3. And then the rest of these are 4s. I don't need to put them all on here unless I really want to do that. So the is a 4, a is a 4, the is a 4. And I'm just kind of labeling these groups. And then I lay them out independently, because if I know blast is my number 1 group, that most likely means it's going to be large. That also could mean it's going to be like a bold kind of thing, but standard, it's going to be large. This might mean fishing is going to be a little bit larger. Without. We could even steal this size, so these are the same size. And then bomb, let's make it the same size as without. And I can already see what if the is on its edge or something like that. That's kind of cool. Fishing is and already is the 3rd group, so let's make it a little bit bigger. And you can see it already kind of could align right to the G. And then all these could kind of move up. So I have this is kind of rough. Where should I put is? Do I put is here? That's kind of nice. I could roll with that. Maybe A goes over here. Now I could also do negative space right now. So I could do like a box or something. This will go in the background, and then my my blast here would turn white. And this will object arrange, send to back. So I could do something like that as well. Now, I worked on this for a little bit of time, and I came up with this. Now, I had without the bomb in negative space, and then notice how I kind of connected blast to it. So I'm thinking about, you know, the vinyl cutting. This could be a little bit of an issue. See where the without is? It's really, really tight here. I might need to make this a little bit smaller just for it to cut properly. But I like where this is going, and you know, we could duplicate this a little bit. You could dupe it and see how that works. Or I could just go without the negative space kind of thing, and it would look something like this one. And you can kind of see I'm already kind of cooking with that right here. If this was black. Now in our document, so this is my 23 by 10 document, we're gonna do this for about half of the area, and then you can have the other half to do other one color vinyls if you wish. If you want images, if you want some text, if you want some other stuff to use in your daily personal life, school appropriate please, you can. So we're gonna kind of lay out just a one color version of your call to action here. Using the style, using this, we're gonna kind of group some of those things together. If you want to bring in kind of the name of your cause as well, you can. And then we're going to bring this with a cut contour. So this is what it looks like once I'm adding that cut contour. So I'd make outlines on these things. And then I would just be adding my swatch that is cut contour and taking away that, that fill. So it would look something like this one. So you'd have no fill and then the cut contour stroke. That's all we would have kind of going on here. Do make sure that this is a 1 point stroke, so I don't need this 3.4 business. I just need a 1 point stroke. And all of this is going to be the 1 point stroke. I would also do a shape around these. So if you notice, there's kind of no outline here, and you would just be adding either a square or a rounded edge. You know, we could do something like that to kind of give it a home and let it cut out naturally, so that this is something I can weed around. So this is going to be kind of our first step in vinyl, a mission readiness section. You're going to be grouping some of your call to action things. You're going to be designing some of these things. You could do a couple different versions if you wanted to. And then we're going to set it up with cut contour here. You won't need perf cut contour for this first section at all. And then you would save this as an EPS. So much like we've done in the past, we do a save as copy. And I would do an EPS file for this document. And it will, you know, we'll move over to the vinyl setup and do our print settings over there. We're going to do a save on Basecamp for this, just like we used to do, because you can access it over there on the computer. So that's what you'll need for this one. And then you're good to go. Stay tuned. We're going to get into section 2 right now. So kind of once you've done this mission readiness section, you can come back. And at this moment, we're going to kind of flip these out to do some decals. So this one, you'll have full color. And I already kind of did my version of this. I like this bomb fish that he's a traditional fish, but he has like this, what is this? Like a fuse that's been lit, which I kind of like. And I think I wanted a circle. So I added my outlaw bomb fishing term that I kind of like. And then I put my call to action above it, just on a path. So this is type on a path. And then on the outside edge, we're going to do a ellipse. And I don't need the fill. And for the moment, I don't need the stroke. I just want that pink edge to be around the outside here. If I want a little bit of white, it can have a little bit of white, or this can be kind of lined up right with blue here, or a little bit inside the blue like it's a bleed. So we're going to copy this, and actually I'm going to do Command F, which is going to paste in front. So that's going to be like 2 that are on here. And I will scale this up a little bit. I'm actually holding Option Shift to scale it up from the center. And this one I'm going to turn it into that perf cut. Do be sure we just have one of these. We just have one of these. And I would even make them on their own layer. You could just have a cutting section layer. And just so we know this, this one's going to be 28 by 10. Our decal size max is going to be 5 by 5. You could make this any shape you wanted to. And we're going to do 3 to 5 colors. So as you kind of look at this thing, think about, you know, I got my fish as 1, I got my outline as 2, I got this red as 3, and then I got this yellow as 4. So I'm kind of using just 4 colors inside of here. White won't count as a color. But this is ready to kind of set up to print. Within my document here, the same thing as before, you're able to use half of this for your own content. So if you want to just take this bottom section, you can, or if you want to think about this as, you know, you can have this whole area over here, you can. But you're going to have a sheet of these. We're going to install one of these in class, and then you'll be able to have the rest of them. So this is what that might start to look like. Do be sure you make outlines on your text. Make sure you have the cut contours and the perf cut contours if you'd like a perf cut contour. Not mandatory that you do the perf one, but it's optional. And then you're welcome to use this bottom space for other decals or things that you want. So I had to work, you know, I had to do some sketches early to make my graphics, but once I did my graphics, this is kind of how we're going to lay it out. And then same thing as before, I'm going to save this as an EPS file. If you get an error message as you save that has stuff about transparency, that means it's going to error on the laser cutter or on the vinyl cutter. It's not going to be able to see your cut lines. So if you see stuff about transparency, make sure that this kind of things don't have opacity, and make sure if you're using gradients, they don't have opacity things. And if you can't figure it out, let's talk about it, okay? I think that's going to be it for setting up a vinyl. I just covered the mission readiness section. I just covered the how to do my vinyl decal. You just got to bring the ideas now. And if you're still here, if you didn't find this before, check out my cut contour swatch information. We're going to label it cut contour. It's going to be capital C. It's going to be capital C. There's going to be no space. It's going to be a spot color. It's going to be magenta, 100%. And then when you hit OK, it should have this little dot by it. And if you're doing perf cut contour, it should be perf cut contour. Oh, look at these capital letters, capital P, capital C, no spaces. It's also a spot color. It's 100% cyan, 100% yellow, and it's green. All right. Good luck out there.